Bonafide Hustler here. What is going on, peeps? I come to you live from a Wednesday, kind of afternoon, late afternoon, and today we're going to be looking at 10 or more actual items that I sold on eBay, Craigslist, or my antique booth back in 2013. I think that's where we're at right now. Want to make sure that I can be heard, right? So if it sounds good, then we'll do the mic check. 1 2 1 2. There is a comment feed, so right now if there's a little button down there, it says live. That means it's going on right freaking now. Let me know if I sound okay, because that's very important. So there is a comment feed on the right, so I'm going to put something in it real quick and help me out. If you can hear me, let me know. Frank Chupetta, what's up, Thriftology? Stephen Frederick. All right, so we got some people in here. Who wants to get a shout out real quick? I got 9 viewers. I got 3 people that are brave enough to put a comment. And we got like 7 people. I got 10 viewers. I want to make sure that everything is sounding good so I can start the show. We got the Bonafide Perrier on deck, man. This stuff is so good. What's up, Global Gibby? What's up, Bearded Picker? All right, sounds like we're all here. And Bruce Colson, cool. Joseph Bayman, thanks, guys. Timothy Grapp, what's up? We got green room members in the house here. Clearing clutter for clarity. Hey, what is up? And thank you for all the nice comments that you give me on my channel, by the way. CCC, clearing clutter for clarity. Always giving amazing comments on my channel and like commenting on every one of my videos, so I really appreciate it. Much appreciated. Okay, what's up, Scott Baxter? What's up, Flippin' for a living? Shout out from Saskatchewan. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's far. Michael Brown, what up, Bonafide? What's up, Michael? I always like to shout out peeps. I'm never gonna get too good in this game to where I can't shout out the peeps that have helped me get here in the first place. So I think, yeah, so it's very important for me to acknowledge the fact that there are people in the feed that are taking some time out of their day to watch this. Just giving the bolos. And by the way, if you are in the green room, I'm just curious, do we have any green room members in here? I know I've seen 1 so far. There's probably a couple more. So let me know if you are a green room member. We got 23 viewers, and we'll get right to the slideshow here in 1 second. Actually, we can go into the slideshow right now, guys. There's so much stuff on my desk today, and I almost didn't do this show because just how, well, maybe you guys don't know, but entrepreneur type of lifestyle, there's some things that just kind of, I like structure. As much as being an entrepreneur, everyone's like, that just means you can do anything that you want all the time. Problem is, it's you against you. So like, it's just human nature. I mean, when there's time to slack off, sometimes I'll do it a couple times here and there, right? But I really like structure. Structure is way more fun. But I just didn't have structure this morning because I had an appointment with an insurance professional this morning on behalf of my brother, right? I spoke for him. And then, so I had to do that, and that just kind of messed up the whole morning. Plus, I got my hair cut at a barber. I usually cut my own hair, but this time I decided to try a barber down the street. I kind of like it, it's not that bad. I have a haircut. Cool. And then what else did I do? Oh, and then I came home, and my wife got off work like super early, like ridiculously early. So that it threw a wrench in just about every plan possible. And I was going to film workout videos today and all kinds of stuff, but I didn't get around to it. But the one thing I could do, I was like, you know what? I can pop into that room, into my office, and I can at least do a live show for people. So very, very cool. That's what I want to do right now. What's up, Lee Chubey? Frank Chupetta, that's right. Oh, we got some green room members. All right. Does it still have the 30-month deal? Yeah, it still has a $30 a month deal, Michael Brown. One of these days I'll join Bearded Picker. Cool. Can't wait to see you guys in there. Let's get right into the slideshow. It's going to be good. So we're going to get into the screen share here, right here. Let me know what you see right here. All right. I'm watching the comment feed right now. Let me know what you see on here. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Global Gibby, what's up? That's right, Global Gibby, you came in recently. What's up, Amazon FBA, eBay Treasure Hunter? Man, this guy is everything, all in one. A tripod, okay, cool. So here we have a tripod. It's not just any ordinary tripod, right? When you guys hustle tripods, and this one's sold on Craigslist, I believe somewhere between the 40 to 50 range, and I bought it for like 10 or less. So, I'm never too good for that money, right? Like this is back in 2013, so we're looking at now the mid part of 2013, some of my picks. And yeah, this was a garage sale find. What's important is the brand of this tripod more than anything. It's Bojan, right? or Bogan. Some people might call it Bogan, Bojan. But it's basically a Manfrotto. Yeah, it's a Bojan Manfrotto tripod right here. What's interesting about these tripods, guys, and hopefully you can see my mouse pointer, but all these things that you normally see in tripods, like right here where the arms or the feet, not the feet, but like where the arms and the legs attach to the actual main body of where the head is, right around here, okay? All this on a Manfrotto, a Bojan, on the really good strong ones is gonna be almost like metal, okay? So this is not plastic, although it might look like it, it's not. And then what you have is you have a head right here. Now this is not a ball head, or it probably isn't even a floating head, but still, you know, it's a very durable tripod. It's not light. This one is not a light one. This is a little bit more probably early 2000s, maybe late 90s tripod, but it is very well crafted. None of these things right here are made out of plastic. This is all metal. So yeah, you can imagine that anytime that we see tripods out there, guys, I'm pretty sure you see Ambico, you know, you see your Sunpack, you see all your other ones that everyone's got, total junk ones, right? But when it comes down to the really good stuff like Bojan Manfrotto and you know, really good tripods like that, then now you start dealing with carbon fiber things and really industrial type tripods that can be used for many different film gigs. So that's basically what this is right here. It was missing one of the screws that, you know, I just disclosed that, but who cares? You know, what's one of those things, like it's a freaking Manfrotto and Bojan Manfrotto, and that's basically what it came down to. It was, you know, people want this kind of stuff. So even though it's old and vintage, they still want it. So now what you do on current day Manfrotto tripods, typically you can get like a head plus a base, right? And so the base might be a different model number than the head. The head might be a ball head, fluid head. There's so many different types of heads depending on the kind of articulation and smoothness of a left to right, or a panning movement, I guess, that you are desiring in your filmmaking, right? So nowadays, if you find a Bojan Manfrotto tripod, it's, you know, the garage sale, it's probably going to be a little bit of money, but don't let that scare you, because a lot of times they can sell for over 150 bucks or so if they're in really good condition and, you know, everything tests out pretty good, which quite honestly, they're very hard to destroy. They're very well-made tripods, but it looks like clearly this person forgot to screw in one of the pieces right there. And then the other thing you want to be messing with is the plate. You know, if you can get the plate, that's cool. And if you can't, it's not a huge deal. It's not a deal killer, but a plate always matters too on the newer ones. So yeah, so this one sold for 50 in town, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this one right here. So just want to educate you guys about the Bojan Manfrotto right there. And then Manfrotto, someone wrote it in the Joseph Bayman right here in the comment feed wrote Manfrotto, so that's good. That's the way you spell it. And yeah, just make sure you know this brand, Bojan, okay? B-O-G-E-N. But now when you see Bojan, you'll see Bojan Manfrotto. It's just together. This is the way it is. All right, this right here, I found this 3 times over. This is a Quick Cam Pro 9000. You know, I don't know why people buy this thing. I got to be honest with you, because look down here. It's a 2 megapixel webcam with autofocus. This thing is so outdated. However, every single one that I've found, okay, out in the wild, has sold for about $64.99 or above. Like, I've sold one at $99.99. It's ridiculous. So I have found this 3 times over, sealed in the wild, and you can see the seals right here and tagged on this picture. All right, and yeah, this is, you know, maybe because it has a Carl Zeiss front, but I don't think that's really what it is. I mean, I do not understand why people buy this thing brand new, because I remember I was going to send it off to FBA, but then something about Logitech and new and this webcam, I couldn't do it. So, you know, rather than open it and claim it as used and take some risk, I was like, forget it. I'm just going to put it on eBay. And I've sold 3 of them on eBay. The lowest one sold for 65, the highest one for 100. And I found them all in this amazing condition at Goodwills, surprisingly enough, too. They were all found at Goodwills. So that's one thing to look for. I mean, basically, if you're finding any kind of webcam that's Logitech, gosh, just please pop on it. And the most I ever spent on one of these was $11, just so you know. Out of the 3 that I bought, the most I spent was 11 bucks. All right, so let's go to the next item. Who knows what this is? Who knows about this brand? Someone out there is going to have to know about this brand. Who knows about this brand right here? Let's see. Let's see. All right, I'm back. I'm back to the screen, hopefully. Let me make sure. Oh, we got some weird thing going on. I should be back on the screen here in 1 second. Let me get my screen sharing thing. There we go. I think we're here. Nope, that's not it. So many different options to do here, but think I'm on this one. Ah, oh, here it is. Okay, I think I figured it out, guys. Sorry, we're doing this weird like parallel universe thing. Who knows about that? That brand of shoe. So clearing clutter for clarity does not know. That's good. It's okay not to know, guys. It's okay not to know because that's what the show's all about. It's about showing you guys things that you might not know about. And if you're a really, really good hustler, then you might know about everything that I'm about to tell you, all the pictures. But for the most part, there's gonna be something here that I can teach you guys. And it's really important just to pay a little bit of attention. That way you can kind of get, you know, your mind accustomed to it. I find that when you prime your mind through pictures or explanation, you know, basic layman term explanations, that you're more liable to notice it in the wild when you're out there. Because if I don't highlight it for you, or you don't read about it somewhere in some guide or whatever, then you might get around it in the wild, but you might never notice it. Like you might just be like, okay, just running shoes, who cares? So, you know, that's just the whole point of what I'm trying to make here is there's so many funny comments in here. I'm getting so distracted, but anyway. So yeah, I want to talk to you guys about that shoe. It's okay not to know about it. And Kimberly Bobco's in the house. We got Frank Byers, my guy. There's so many people in here. And Lee, what's going on? And let's go into that screen share now. Okay, so let's go back in here. And we have the shoe. Hopefully you guys can see it. So this is a brand called Hoka One One. In fact, if you look right here, it says Hoka, and then there's a 1 and a 1, O-N-E, O-N-E. So this is a very, very, you know, I would say in the past 10 years, this brand, no, maybe in the past like 6 or 8 years, this brand came out of nowhere and was really popular with endurance-based athletes like marathoners, half marathoners, that kind of stuff. Like it's got this, it's a really kind of ugly shoe, let's face it, right? It has a little bit too much cushion. But then when you actually get into one of these and you run with them, dude, it's like running on freaking clouds. It's like running on a freaking down pillow. I mean, seriously. Outside of just wearing these shoes, if you were to just strap 2 down pillows to both your feet and just walk around, probably feel the exact same, all right? So Hoka One One, real good. Typically, if you find it in really good condition, it's because someone got it as a gift, tried it on, was supposed to return and never did, and it finds its way into a thrift store. Or you find them in okay condition, they're at a garage sale, it's from some lady that, or some guy that just had a bunch of pairs, and you know each pair has a little bit of wear on them, right? Yeah, Kimberly Balco says I think they're cute. Let's look at some more pictures, Kimberly, and maybe you can tell me if this is still cute or not. So inside, Hoka One Ones do come with 2 different types of soles. If you don't have both pairs of soles, it really doesn't matter. I mean, talking about insoles, like they're inserts, right? They do come with like a red one, I want to say, and a blue one. So these had blue inside, not a big deal. I don't care about the other set. I found these at the thrift store. What do you guys think about the bottoms on these? It sounds kind of perverted. What do you guys think about the bottom? What does this look like to you? Does this look like something you would hustle? Are you thinking mint, used lightly, barely used? Like how would you term the undersole on this shoe right here? What do you guys think? Tell me. But that's what the undersole looks like. And in fact, this is basically rubber on a very nice foam kind of, undersole. So this is like running on clouds right here. And then this part is just the part that slowly degrades, right? As opposed to this part right here. So someone's new to you, Connecticut says, or CT says, not nubs on nubs. Well, here's the thing. Used lightly, yes. And they are nubs on nubs mostly. Look at these right here. Look at these nubs. See these primary nubs, and then you got little other nubbies on the nubby. See that? There's a primary nub, and then we got little waves of other nubs on here. The primary nub here, and then the waves of nubs on that one. Pretty much a nubs on nubs kind of shoe. It looks dirty, but believe me, in my book, this would be a nubs on nubs. In fact, you can see a little bit of the nubs on that one. You can definitely see the nubs on this one. And if you look carefully in this picture right here, there are more nubs in the background of that one. So nubs on nubs shoe. The white is what's giving it like the bad rap here, and the little dark things on the hexagons or whatever, that's kind of giving it like, the illusion that it's not nubs on nubs. But it is nubs on nubs. Kimberly Bobco says it'll clean up nicely. In fact, I didn't even touch these things at all. Like, this is the way I found them, with the sides like that and everything. So I listed them like this. I mean, the pictures that you're looking at, guys, are the same exact pictures that made it on eBay. right here. So Hoka One Ones like this. These are likely, I forgot what model. These could be Stinsons if I'm not mistaken, maybe Stinsons. And they got 4 models that you want to be looking for. So Stinsons is one of them. Stinson's really good. Challenger ATR is really good. There's one called Bondi, I want to say, B-O-N-D-I, and then there's one more. It kind of eludes me at this point, but they're extremely comfortable. I'm telling you guys right now, and ladies, like if you want the ultimate walking shoe, I'm going to tell you right now, it's these. These are so comfortable to walk or run or whatever, and like you will have a pep in your step when you get into these shoes. I have a pair, honestly, that I didn't pay very much for, but talk about pep in step. Like I look like I just came out of like a water park. Like I feel super good. Anyway, that's Hoka One One for you. So yeah, it's in the same kind of thing as like Asics and stuff. And when it comes to marathoners and endurance-based athletes, I mean, you're going to find a lot of like Brooks and Newton and Asics in there in those lineups, and Mizuno, and then you're going to find this brand, Hoka One One. So don't forget that brand, Hoka. All right, there you go. Do I clean the soles? No. Utah Gma 99. Honestly, a buyer that looks at this would be like, they can tell. Like if you just saw this pic, you would know. Okay, that's pretty light use. So sell-through rate is very good, Brian Kingsbury. Look at this on eBay and tell me, look at the used Hoka One Ones on eBay, sort by highest, and tell me you don't see an extensive market of shoes that you can hustle. There's a lot. So price, Timothy Grab, great question. In fact, these right here, the price of these are $100 or more. They go from $100 to $160. So very cool. We got Lucky underscore says, yo hustler, I implement your negotiation skills every time I invest on a car to flip, and I average about 950 profit on each car. Thank you. You're welcome. Cool. Clearing clutter for clarity. Would I ever sell trashed Vans shoes? Vans, it just depends on basically how old they are. If they're the high top style, because you don't want to, it's kind of hard to explain, but if like you don't see the tag that you're supposed to see in the Vans shoe that has the sizes and everything, and it's very hard to explain, but then if you can find the vintage tongue tags, and they're a little bit of the higher cut, which is not Chukka type, but it's called, I guess you could call it almost Caballero style, but it's like a high cut Vans, typically with a squiggly line that goes through it. If you can find that in like checker patterns or anything like that, back from like the old skating days, then yeah, those would sell for really good money. Otherwise, trashed Vans that are themed, like it could be Iron Maiden, it can be any of these other themes that Vans goes with, that could have some value, but for the most part, the old skating type of Vans and certain Caballeros will be the ones to look for, or half cabs, what they call them. Then yeah, that would be one of the ones you would want to look for. But usually trash Vans as in a broad or an encompassing type statement, most won't bring you very good money. It's only certain ones. So we know Hank says Nike Shox are an awesome seller for me. Getting harder to find. Yeah, every time I know to hustle Nike Shox, but man, I can never find a good pair that doesn't have the Shox part that are totally worn down. So anyway, Ridgemont High type. Yep, there you go. Kent Daigle knows what's up. I hustle so many shoes. You have no idea. In fact, when I was building this collage of pictures to talk about today, I can't tell you how many freaking shoes I went past in the pictures. It was ridiculous. All the way from Sperry topsiders to rain boots, all the way to hiking boots. I saw climbing shoes in there. I saw everything. There were just so many. Okay, so let's talk about now the next picture that we have. So after this, now we have this. Who would see value in this thing, and where would you sell it? Let me ask you right now. Kent Daigle, that's right. Shoes on shoes on shoes. Would you hustle this, and where would you put it? Where's the ultimate avenue now to put these things? Think about it. What do you guys think? I'll give you another picture of this thing. Ooh, man, that thing's pretty. Look how pretty that is. It almost looks like an Olympic discus. Jeez, that is beautiful. So what do you guys think? And how would you classify this? Would you classify this as vintage, retro, or current day? What do you think? Old School Ace, what's up, man? Good to see you. Movie prop, FBA, not worth it. So, yes, right. Okay, so this is definitely, okay, so I'm gonna go with a couple people here. Clearing clutter for clarity is about right. New to YouTube Connect, CT about right, and there's another one that said it too. But anyway, okay, so I would, Global Gibby's on too. Nikki Gardner says the right thing as well. I would classify this as retro. Okay, this is not current day because clearly it has a CD player, and it's definitely the older type Dream Machines, but they're not. It's not super old. It's not the rectangular type or anything like that, right? This is right before it went to. I think I want to say that it was Psych or Explode or any of those. It was right before then that they made these, and this one's in good condition because you can tell that when they start getting nasty, the whole thing's supposed to turn this color right here. But this one's in very, very good condition. This is after I cleaned it, so it did have some scuffs on it, but I cleaned it with some Barkeeper's Friend and some solution. The funny thing is, I didn't think about it at the time to send this off to FBA, but now if you were to find this, this absolutely would belong on FBA. My guess is this on FBA would be somewhere in the vicinity of, in fact, I could probably do a research real quick, but someone tell me what an ICF CD831 sells for on FBA right now, okay? So an ICF CD831, if I'm not mistaken, this should be around 40 plus. So ICF CD831, and the reason why we're going to learn about this today is because these are the types of things that you can find in garage sales for like $1, okay? And it's definitely mid and long tail type items. This is not going to be like a TI-84 calculator. It's not going to be like your pie face. This is not going to be like a Shopkins doll. It's going to be mid to long tail. But that's the whole thing with mid to long tail, guys, is if you invest $1 and it's a mid-tail and it can sell for 40 or 80, then that's a true mid-tail item. It doesn't hurt to keep it there for $1, and hell, even one long-term storage fee ain't gonna hurt either. So an ICF, someone look it up for me. ICF CD831. I don't want to F my whole show up and like close down all these screens, but someone look it up for me real quick on Amazon under used and very good condition. ICF-CD831. So this one, yeah, Kent Dago, this one actually sold for, I think, a 40 on eBay. So yeah, this was 40 on eBay when I sold it back in 2013. Clearly it's working, and it's not completely yellowed, so that was a good sign, so I picked it up. So yeah, 35 to 40 looks like on FBA, not bad. Oh, I could use my phone, you're right, but my phone's in another room. So when I do these shows, I try not to have the phone anywhere close to me because you'd be very surprised. Being a content creator and, the phone is nonstop vibrating, nonstop. Like, I wouldn't say it's ringing all the time. It rings for, random other things, but like it's nonstop with notifications and stuff. And I really need to figure out a way to make it not do that. But, I just don't have the time to like go through and like, I want to be notified a lot of times, right? But I don't. Like, it's hard to explain. So I do, but I don't. Anyway, I was getting my haircut today. My barber was like looking at my phone constantly. He's like, dude, your phone like nonstop is like blowing up. I'm like, I know. He's like, pretty crazy, right? I was like, yeah, my wife hates it, especially at nighttime, but it is what it is. So anyway, it's a very nice Dream Machine right here that we're looking at. Yeah, so don't forget to pop on these kind of things if it's a mid or a long tail type item. I don't know what the rank was, guys. No one has said anything about the rank. So we have Clearing Clutter for Clarity says the yellow one is 55. So there you go. The red is 32. Yeah, that's weird. I would so pay way more money for a red one than a yellow one. But we know Hank says, what do I pay max? Look, I'd be if it's in really good condition, I'd be up into like $5. Because when you take 5 into 55, that's great. 5 into 32, that's a great return right there, guys. That's a great return. So, don't be afraid. Someone tell me the rank on this thing real quick. That would be amazing. And let's see what kind of, what do we think this rank is? I think it would have to be in electronics, of course. But an ICF CD831 white rank 738. Jeez, it's not bad. Sub rank of 785, 15 reviews, 784. It's not bad. I would totally send it in. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't think about doing it back then, but nowadays I would totally send this in. Usually when I find Dream Machines, They are, it's really hard to find the right ones, but it's worth looking up. If you see a Sony Dream Machine and it looks a little different than the ones that you remember seeing, like you'll see nonstop Dream Machines at garage sales, but they're not worth really anything. It's certain ones and the ones that kind of look off a little ways, and so a lot of the ones that have CD players too. You know, those are the ones you want to look for. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is no surprise. Like I didn't put this. I put this in here only because it represented one thing that was important to do when you're at a thrift store. And you know, most people when they're at a thrift store are looking for big things and clothing and bags and shoes and everything. And you know, when I found this game, it was at a thrift store that I never find video games at, right? All the video games are always Call of Duty and some junky Tiger Woods '06 game, and you know, all these dumb games that you glance at the section, you're like, gosh, there's never anything good in there. And then one day, College Picker and I walk in, and this is sitting right there, Super Smash Brothers and this game right here. So, you know, when this game came out, there's this tag on it, 50 bucks. When this game came out, this was a $50 game as well. Super Smash Brothers Melee right now. I sent one in not too long ago. Yeah, it was the GameCube one, and I sent it in for I think $79.99 or maybe even $89.99 because I had everything down to an unscratched disc. Everything in the insert, unscratched everything. So I put it at 89. I don't care because every single one, this one right here sold day one when it got sent into FBA, day one gone. Like, and that's the thing. I've come across Super Smash Brothers 4 times, about 4 times in hustling. In fact, I have 2 scratched up ones sitting in my house that are just discs. But I've come across them about 4 times. And each time I send them in, they go the very next day or the day after. Like, so I'm competitive with my price too. So now I'm on this last one I sent in, which hit the actual FBA warehouse about a week ago. You know, I'm going to try to hold out on this one and try to get the perfect price in Christmas time or something like that. So anyway, Super Smash Brothers, probably one of the best games ever to not only play apparently, but to find in the wild. Okay, so we have some comments in right here. Show me that Super Smash. Yeah, you sent 2 in the FBA. I don't know where you got those 2, Timothy, but these not exactly a easy game to find. Super Smash Brothers on eBay 26. Interesting. Smash Brothers Melee 60 to 70. That's right. You're right. When you do find them, which is rarely, they're $2 to $5. They're so cheap. I mean, I'm talking so cheap. Bearded Picker just got one. Even in scratched up condition, and it's still playable, will still fetch good money. But you're going to have to be able to, you know, confirm that it plays. You're going to have to play it yourself and all that kind of stuff, and then put on Amazon. It does play. You could probably get 55 to 60 for a scratched up one because the first ones on the listing on Amazon are usually disc only, has scratches, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, yeah. Oh, I sent in some Pokemon games this week or last week. I can't remember what. Yeah, maybe it was this week. We're on Wednesday, so I sent them on Monday. But anyway, I did send them on Pokemon. One of my Pokemon games I sent in was 75 bucks, or maybe $85 I sent it in for. Pretty crazy. So, yeah, you want to look for Super Smash Brothers. And this one right here, Metroid Prime 2, only went for like, I want to say it was $22. So, you know, not the best game to find, but not the worst. I spent $6.48 for this one and $6.48 for this one. You know, not bad. This one I'd priced in, you know, back in 2013 when I sent it in. I think I priced it at exactly what College Picker told me to price it in, which was $54.99. Gone the very next day. So I don't know if I'm gonna listen to him ever again. No, you know, it was one of my earlier FBA scores, a good one. So I had to definitely learn. So that's one of the things I'm always trying to teach people is like, look, you know, just because you see the lowest, and you can match lowest all day long, but if you're dealing with a low rank item and you match lowest, and you get hit the very next day, I mean, there comes a point where you have to start thinking like, damn, like I might have been able to get $5 or $10 more, and I would wait a week, right? Or maybe you didn't look at what you had in your game versus what other people have, because, you know, if the market when I sold this game, let's say for example, was you know, $55 was the entry one, and I match it, so yeah, I'm up there for 55 bucks with a game that has a case and an insert, is all unscratched. Dude, I should have never priced it at that. I should have been at like 69 or something back then, because I guarantee you the very first one was probably disc only and scratched. So I failed to look at the, you know, and I think College Picker too. We were both newbies in the FBA game a little bit. He was a little bit more seasoned than I was, but not by very much. And Yeah, so this is the mistake right there on that one. Is that I probably could have got more. Not even probably. I could have got more. It's just that we went for the very first listing and matched it, and you learn. That's how you learn, guys. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, if you're thinking Run DMC and like old 80s stuff, that's basically what you're at. Even though this is likely in early 90s, I would still classify this as this is where it gets kind of hard whether you go with retro or vintage, right? Because most people that are dealing with boom boxes are going to say vintage, and some people, very few will say retro. The main thing that you do when you mess with these boom boxes is, for me, when I see a boombox, I almost feel obligated to rescue it, and that's one of those things, guys. Like, I feel obligated to rescue it because it's something I didn't have back in the day, and it's also something that's very nostalgic to the time period that I really, I guess, was starting to find myself and learn about me as a child, like what I liked and what I really cared about. And for me back then, it was like riding bikes, Nintendo. Listening to music, like all the stuff that the kids do back then, and playing with guns, and like fake guns, not real guns. And that was just me. And so when I see a boombox now, and I even had boomboxes all the way up until about high school, honestly, I almost feel obligated to rescue it if it's the right looking kind of boombox. Okay, so that's right, old school Ace. Now this is a story all about how I know. So yeah, not the best ever boombox, but an easy 60 to 80 on eBay. So that one that you saw right there, I can't remember if that went to eBay or my booth. If it went to my booth, it would have sold for about 40. If it went to eBay, which I think that one did go to eBay, then that would be around the 50 to 60 mark right there. And only because I don't believe the tape player was working on that one. So that's what I wanted to get at. Let's get back to the screen share real quick. And when you deal with these, I mean, buy them dirt cheap from garage sales. I'm talking as cheap as you got to get in, super cheap. I'm almost positive this was an early 90s boombox because it has XBS. And quite honestly, like, Panasonic was looking for ways to step their boombox game up, and ways to come up against Sony with their mega bass, because everything was like mega bass this and mega bass that, and Sony basically owned the boombox market and the Walkman market, and it was just about to be Discman market. But anyway, there were still these things, and XBS was extra bass system, and it was pretty good actually. Like, I remember having Panasonics with XBS and being like, oh crap, this actually sounds really good. So when it came down to like what sounded better, I'm going to be honest with you, I actually did think Panasonics did sound better than Sony's. I did think so. And back in the day, these were like all the rage, and mini shelf systems were all the rage too, mainly made by AWA, whatever you want to call it. That was a real big one that everyone wanted. Like, oh my God, you have an AWA shelf system, cool. Technics, Pioneer, all these ladies, like little shelf systems that could go on top of your dresser or something. And so that kind of killed the boombox era right there with those mini shelf systems. They weren't portable, and they typically were characterized by the fact that they were tiny, and you can separate the speakers and put them really far away in your room or real close. And some of the later type boomboxes did that too, right? And that was kind of like the boombox's way of like fizzling out. Is like they competed as much as they could with these mini shelf systems, and then eventually no one wanted them. But the last boomboxes out there had digital presets, and they had 2 tape decks, and they had CD, almost to the RW standards where you could put an RW disc in there. But they had almost everything with detachable speakers, handles, 6D battery capacity, so you can take it on the lake with you. But the mini shelf system market really kind of killed it. So anyway, this is the thing. This is a question from Kent Daigle, which says, "Bonafide, do I have any warranty issues at all?" Look, when I test these things out, I don't just like, oh, okay, I got a boombox, and I go to eBay and I find that sold by highest, and I look at that and I sell similar. Be careful when you do the sell similar when it comes to used items that have issues, because sell similar is great because it pre-fills a bunch of amazing, like, good keywords and all this kind of stuff, including model numbers sometimes. One of the things that you have to make sure is that when you do sell similar, that none of these old photos attached to your current listing. That's important. But it doesn't happen to me, but for some reason it happened to someone in the green room today, and they were getting kind of irritated with it. But yeah, you want to make sure when you press sell similar to really look at that title carefully, right? Because if the title is saying Mint, Mint Boombox XBS system, Panasonic FM40, blah, 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 now you're talking about, if you didn't capture that Mint part and you left it in there, now you're screwed. So you want to make sure that even though this is in good cosmetic condition, I remember that the tape player did not work on this one. And it's a beauty. I mean, anytime you see these black boom boxes with equalizers and like silver accents, I mean, gosh, they're beautiful. I feel like I have to rescue these things. I really do. But when I rescue this, something like this, and I've learned hard in the boombox game. Although I haven't gotten sour on many boomboxes, I've learned that when you pick them up super dirt cheap, because the tape player is gonna work like 40% of the time, maybe even 30. Okay, so that's your main enemy, is the tape player is probably not going to work. And if it does work, now you've got some decent money on your hands, right? But if it doesn't work, then you just disclose it. You disclose everything down to is the antenna straight or not, all this kind of stuff. They're all going to pick up FM. I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't had a single one that doesn't pick up FM. Maybe the volume sliding switch or whatever, which I think on this one was up here, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, it's right there. So that's the volume switch. So this sometimes can get gritty sounding. I mean, it's just over time, I guess that there was a potentiometer up there or some sort of sliding mechanism that, controlled the amount of current or whatever. I don't know, but that can get scratchy. But, you can describe that kind of stuff in your listing, okay? Don't be scared about it. If you saw this at a garage sale for $1 or $2, just pop on it, right? And take the swing and see what happens. Because when you see these kind of boom boxes, I guarantee it doesn't take very many pops at $1 or $2 to start getting a good home run at $50 or $100. So let me go into the comment feed real quick, because we got some people in here that are saying all kinds of stuff about boomboxes, which is neat. Yeah, and Kent Daigle's got a really good word to put it, but nostalgia, nostalgic, very cool 80s. You can even put, even if it's not in the 80s, if you just say 80s, I mean, shoot, people that are looking for 80s boomboxes are going to look at that and be like, crap, that looks 80s to me, who cares? Even though it's probably an early 90s boombox. Fresh Prince, Gangsta Box, that's right. Not the best ever boombox, but an easy 60 to 80 on eBay. That's flipping for a living. I can't live without my radio. Which brands would I not touch? GE is not the strongest one. So there's a lot of crappy GE ones that were made. The brands that you do want to look for, Sharp, really good. Sharp was a good one. Lasonic, Lasonic, that's a real big one too. Look at vintage Ghetto Blaster boombox on eBay, and you're going to probably find Sharp, Lasonic, JVC, Panasonic in there, things like that. You're going to find those, maybe even a Technics if you're lucky. But yeah, just if you were born in the 80s, I was born actually in '78, but I went through the 80s and I noticed all this kind of stuff in the early 90s, like the rap movement and all that kind of stuff. That's definitely a big piece of it as well. Pinarello Rider, BH, do you think it's a waste of time to replace something as simple? Yeah, it breaks doesn't mean it's broken. If it's if it's visibly broken, it's not. The antenna still works. Its range is going to be cut by a little bit. So you can say that kind of stuff, and you can replace the antenna for cheap. But let the buyer do that. Don't mess with that part. If you have the antennas on a whim, then yeah, maybe. But I would just I would let the buyer determine that, because if it still picks up FM signal, I wouldn't worry about it. Antennas are broke a lot. I don't see a whole lot of broken ones old school A's. I'll see a whole lot of bent ones. And I've seen some broken ones here and there, but I've seen a lot of bent ones. I see broken ones when it comes to remote control controllers. I see a lot of broken ones there. But when it comes to boomboxes, I see bent ones more than anything. Okay, so I guess that's that. Let's talk about the next fun on the show. Let me know. I do this show to aim teach. It's a lot of fun to connect with people out there as well. So I guess over time it builds the bona fide brand up a little bit, and it's fun. It's fun looking back at my finds, seeing where I made mistakes, and being able to teach you guys before you make your mistakes. Learn from my mistakes, and that way you don't have to make them. And you can go around and make more money, knowing that someone out there did the dirty work and told you what to look for and everything like that. So yeah, you're welcome, Joseph Bayman. definitely welcome. I'm going to go into the screen share now, get back into the program. Let's look at the next item. And it's this. All right, so who knows what game this is? Everyone should know what game this is. But why is this game special? Why is this particular game so special? The one in the picture. Not the concept of the game, but the certain edition that I have in front of me in this picture. Why is this so important? So it's deluxe. That's a good word to use, yeah. Yeah, it gets even deeper than that, Pinarello Rider. There's even one more part that's deeper than that, but the wooden case is very obvious, yes. Special edition, yeah. So you can put deluxe, special edition, wooden case. There's something else, guys. Now, if you don't know, it's okay, because before I hustled this, I didn't know either. But Bayman's right, it does rotate, yep, which makes it really, really cool. It spins, yeah, it looks like a limited edition. Does it have drawers? It does, yep. Absolutely, keep going. I don't know if you guys are gonna get it though, but let me tell you right now, it deals with what's inside the drawers. There's something special inside the drawers that makes this thing pretty valuable. I got this at a garage sale for 20 bucks. So who thinks they know what it is? Brian Kingsbury. No, it doesn't light up, but that's pretty funny though. Yeah. I wonder if someone's gonna get it. It's gonna be kind of weird. Velvet inside. I can't remember if it's velvet inside. Tiles made of unicorn horns? No. But you're getting close. The tiles are made of something. Keep guessing, guys. Come on, I'm watching the comments right now. If I show you the next picture, you're gonna immediately guess. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just zip right past it. All right, so this is the other top of it. What do you guys think? It's a better view of now that you see the wood and you realize, okay, it looks pretty heavy duty. It was kind of heavy, I'm not gonna lie. Tiles made of ivory, no. Getting close. Glass, no. Yes. All right, so Frank Byers is the closest. It's gold. I mean, it is gold, so he is the winner on this one. But let me show you, like the drawer opens, right? Look at this. Yeah, tiles made out of gold. Crazy, right? Plated gold. I think it was 24. I don't know if it was 24, whatever. Like, but yeah, these are gold-plated pieces. Nuts, right? I'm telling you, like I flipped out when I saw this. I was like, holy moly. So, yeah, gold pieces in there. Look at that. The funny thing is that it's supposed to have a certain amount. I did some research, and it's supposed to have enough to fill, I believe, all this one section. See all these wood tiles? Like that's not supposed to be there. So the wood tiles are not supposed to be there. They played with wood tiles, and that was like the one thing where I was like, huh, if there are wood tiles here, it's not supposed to have them. That must mean that there's some gold ones missing. That's why they have the wood ones here. Or they played with like a bunch of people that were really wordy people that knew how to play Scrabble real well, and they needed to have more letters, or I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. That's right. Flipping for a living, knucking futz, dude. I'm telling you, man, I flipped out when I saw this thing. 20 bucks. When I saw those pieces, I was like, holy moly, this is no joke. So there's a scorecard. Looks like Paul was on there. Wit. Oh man, hopefully that's not my wife. What are you doing at Paul's house? But let me get you some more. Oh, look at this. Here we go. I don't know why when I look at this, I think of Melba toast. Not only the garbage pail kid thing, but just the concept of Melba toast. Anyway, or a loaf of bread. So yeah, that's what it looked like. It was velvet inside, yeah. So whoever said velvet, yeah, it's inside velvet. And you can see that there's some missing, right? So this was kind of like, okay. Now at that point, I had to count them all out and say, certain things about it. But this thing sold for like 120 something, or maybe it was more, maybe 140 on eBay. This entire Scrabble thing. I gotta tell you, man, if I had more of those gold things and I had the right one, if I had all of them, it would have been game over. But I think it was missing a total of whatever fits right here, which I think wasn't very many. It's just, it was missing some. So gold-plated tile. That's right. I think it's the Franklin Mint edition of the Scrabble. I think that's the actual words I used in the listing. So I know, how do you lose gold freaking tiles? I don't know, Garage Flips. You got me there too, man. It like, I got all bonkers when I was starting to think like, where the hell are these gold tiles? And I'm like shaking this damn thing like nonstop in my office. Like, come on, gold tiles, please come out. And everything had come out already. So it's really cool. In fact, beside the rows, right, which almost look like church pewters, were almost, I think, gold plated as well. So I mean, this is a real serious. This is as serious as Scrabble's ever going to get, guys. And there was a part of me that wanted to keep it, but I was like, seriously, like I don't care about Scrabble that much, guys. But clearly, Wit does. Man, what is she doing at Paul's house? Why is my wife at Paul's house, man? Dude, I think she's cheating on me, guys. Well, shit. Paul's got the gold Scrabble set. He's got way more than I do. So anyway, let's see what's going on here in the comment feed. I hope you guys are having some fun. I poke fun and make stupid jokes, but at the same time, you know, hey, it goes on in my head. I'll say it as long as it's not filled with cuss words and stuff. You guys can hear it. So we have some comments. Clear and clutter for clarity. Set of 100 letters for 169. There you go. Sven Gelderborn says maybe Wit took the other tiles. Good. There you go. That's a smart girl. We know Hank says maybe you get mad and you throw pieces. Yeah, bad gamer and a bad speller. Yeah, true. And then they get really desperate and sell it to me for 20 bucks. There you go. Brian Kingsbury is bidding on a pair of Hoka One Ones right now. I'm gonna win me a pair. There you go. Aramis Ponder, my boy, bonafide hustler. That's right, man. I'm your boy, so you must be my father. Aramis, cool. I thought my dad's name was Jack though, but anyway, maybe it's something different. I hate when I buy a game and it's missing one piece. Look, anytime you buy games, that's our I mean, the time it takes to check everything in a garage sale for pieces and all that kind of stuff, not worth the time, okay? It's way worth your time to get the thing for as low as you can and take a risk. Because when it comes to counting things and counting pieces, you got to be home, okay? Unless you have like no agenda in the day, right? And you're at a thrift store and you're like, all right, it's a relatively easy game to count the pieces on. Trying to think one that was really easy recently, not even recently, but like 3 months ago. I think I got a game called Carcassonne or something like that had wooden pieces, and it was really easy to count that, okay, I need to find 6 colored wooden pieces of this thing, then I need to find those things, and then it had some unpunched tiles in there. I was like, all right, so it looks like everything's there. So I was able to do that pretty quickly, but most of the times, like I'm the kind of person that if it takes, I won't usually ever hustle a puzzle if it's open. That's not me. And a lot of board games, if they're open, they are nerd board games like D&D or anything made by Avalon Hill or Rio Grande Games or those kind of things. Then yes, I'm going to start bringing it home. I might not necessarily even count pieces, but I will put it all out on the table, take pictures of it, and I will put it up on eBay. And I'll say, you know, it looks like everything is there. And I'll just make an accurate judgment call. Like, it looks like everything is there. You know, be the judge. You take a look at the pictures and judge for yourself. Have I got any of those back? No, none of them. So that's good. Yeah, Deanna Silva, you're right. Well, check it home. I ask when I buy if it's all there. A lot of people are gonna be like, I think it's all there, blah, and then, you know, some of it's not. Same thing with boomboxes. I'm pretty sure it all. Last time I checked, it worked. Come home, tape player doesn't work. Okay, it's common. Like, it's just common. That's why you get in low, guys. That's why you don't spend much money. Okay. Old school Ace. Maybe Wit used the gold tile from Scrabble. Oh, maybe Wit used to be a gold digger and now she met me. There you go. Hey, that's the only plausible thing, Scott. That's the only plausible thing. That's what I was thinking too, man. Okay, let's go back to the program and let's wrap this thing up here in a second. So we saw the gold tiles. I think this might be one of the last pictures. Is it? I don't know. Okay, we got some other things. Cool. So check this out. This is an absolute relic. So I believe I sold this one for like $67. So first of all, to be clear, this is the mini Typhoon, not the full-blown one. If it was the full-blown one, it was sold for more. But this is a 9.6V. This is probably early 90s, if I'm not mistaken, okay? So Taiko, along with Nico, was one of the best consumer-grade remote or radio-controlled vehicle brands that you could buy at Target, Kmart, wherever you went, okay? So Taiko made, and all their cars were put into these type of boxes where you can see the car through, you can see the controller right here. And man, if you were a kid, you wanted one of these things. It doesn't matter if it was the Bandit or the freaking Lamborghini car or whatever, man. They just did it so right. The advertising was done so right on these, where you could see the toy and you're like, Mom, please, can I have it for Christmas? Like, that's this type of stuff, man. And when I went into a Salvation Army and I found this thing for like what, I think it was like 12, and then they gave me half off, so it was like 6. I mean, I almost lost my mind because yes, it's the mini Typhoon hovercraft, but you gotta understand, like this is from like the early 90s and it survives in its box all the way to find its way into my arms, and I'm like, holy moly. So of course I'm gonna rescue it, okay? That's what I'm here to rescue old nostalgic cool things. And this thing can go on land, water, all kinds of junk. Now I'm going to show you real quick, when you mess with a mini Typhoon or a Typhoon hovercraft specifically, what you want to be looking for. Because even if certain things are gone, they're still worth money. So this is what the hovercraft looks like. There are 2 motors back here, and then you have one giant motor right here, which fills the bags and everything like that. It makes it go over water or land. And then 2 micro motors that are sitting right here. They all have propellers. You can't see the propeller of this one. I want to say it was a different color than the one right here. But anyway, so you got that right there. And these things, although it looks like it steers, it doesn't steer with these whatsoever. In fact, the way it steers is one motor will shut off and the other one will rev up more, and that's how it steers. It is a hovercraft, so the motor here is a much bigger one. The battery cavity to put the battery in is right here, and then the on and off switch is right here. Because you got to think it's going to be going over water, so the on and off switch, unlike a normal remote control car or radio control car, is not going to be underneath. Because if it's going over a pool or a lake, that actual on and off switch needs to be on the top of the craft so it doesn't get wet by water. All right, so let's go into the next picture. This is the controller right here, which is very, very easy to understand. Go back, go forward, steering this and that. And like I said, anytime you do the steering left or right, then the actual side motors would either speed up or slow down accordingly. And then, down to the actual, now here's, remember how I said like most of the things are broken, right? So here's a broken, antenna right here. You can see it's broken here. It used to go in there, and it's telescoping, but it broke. So that's okay, because quite honestly, you can just get a brand new one of these and screw it right into here, okay? And see how this says Taiko is #1? Honestly, back then in the consumer grade RC market, it actually was #1. And they went really crazy with this 9.6V turbo thing. And probably for about a solid 3 to 5 years, they owned the consumer radio control market all the way, down from their buggies, their cars, their race cars, their trucks, and things like fast tracks and Typhoons. Yeah, man, right? So sick. So let's take a better look at this thing. If you flip these tabs right here, this thing opens up and there's a yellow battery underneath. That's where you put the battery, you turn it on, and get ready to put a smile on your face, especially if you're a dude, right? Especially if you're a dude, because only dudes really care about this crap back then. So I think most guys were probably still playing with these things, while women and girls were probably playing with, I would say they were out of their Barbie days, and they were maybe playing that shopping mall game, or the one where you call the cute boy on the phone, high school like board game where the phone and everything. There was one called Mall Madness or whatever, but you know what I'm talking about. There was a point where guys were kind of regressing, and this is where we would regress, right? Sounds like Bonafide kept this one. No, I actually sold it. But I'm giving you guys a story because it's really cool. If you didn't live in this era, like I'm telling you, you guys missed out totally. It was so awesome. Old school Ace, who wouldn't want a toy called Typhoon? That's right, man. That is right. And what we got here? Montra says, wow, this brings back crazy memories. Yeah, I'm telling you, like you should see the big, this is the mini one, right? Sitting on top of the box. The big one was like twice the size of this thing. It was huge. In fact, if you ever remember what the G.I. Joe hovercraft looked like, the big Typhoon was kind of on the same scale as that. It was big, and it was really neat and noisy. I've never found one. I found one in the wild, but it was torn to pieces. Anytime you see these Typhoon hovercrafts, you want to look underneath at the skirt. Check out the skirt on this. How would you rate the underside of this actual hovercraft? What do you think? What do you think what do you think this looks like? Does you think this is in good condition? Keep in mind, early 90s, guys, early freaking 90s. So it had the bag right there, and it also had something to keep it from, drowning in the water. So underneath this thing was like styrofoam, right? You can see the styrofoam through there in the white, and that kept it from keeping the motors and the main parts of the craft above water. But yeah, this was a really cool craft. This is in very good condition. This is great condition, okay? So clearing clutter for clarity is right. Trust me, by the time you find these current day, they are torn to pieces under here. Like just, they look like a balloon that's just been cut by a razor blade. So yeah, it's in very good condition. In fact, if you ever want to know if it's in good condition, you're like, oh, the skirt looks underneath, looks real good, right? Just look at this. I mean, look at the black part underneath. This goes for any radio-controlled car that you flip over and you look at the underneath like this. If you can see reflections and not many scratches whatsoever, there's like 0 scratches on this thing. That thing, it was not used very much at all. Pop on it, especially if it's Taiko 9.6 VRC. You know, 9.6 V is the voltage that was that they were using back then on this thing. And, you know, it was pretty fast for a kid's toy, man. It was really cool. So they made it in red, they made it in black, and I had to rescue it. And yeah, it was worth, you know, even though it paid me maybe 30 or 40 bucks pure profit, the fact that it went to someone that was probably a collector or something that just was like, oh my God, I really want one. I mean, that's all that matters, right? I rescue it in that way. It doesn't end up in some kid's hands that's going to destroy it in their house. It actually ends up back with an adult that remembered these things back in the day. That's right, or Aramis Ponder, not bad, over 20 years old. You're thinking exactly how I am. So, old school AS, no scraps or scratches, has not been played much with or at all. Excellent pre-owned condition, we know Hank. You guys are right on the money with that assessment. So, you know, and look at the front. I mean, you can tell like that hasn't bumped anything. Amazing. And yes, the real question, guys, to the 46 viewers that are watching right now, did I play with it? Yes or no? Did I play with this Typhoon hovercraft? Yes or no? What do you think? And then we'll go to the next item. I'm doing this show because it's fun. And yeah, anyway, you know, it is also, you know, everyone's getting something out of it. Like, you know, you guys get to see my enthusiasm for some of these flips I used to do. You get to also see really interesting things that you might not have seen before. And, and everyone's saying, yes, of course you played with the damn toy. Bonafide, of course, everyone down to Steven. And we have Sven, we have Mr. Too Easy going, yes, gotta test it, Z squared, gotta test it, gotta test it. You're totally right with it. So anyway, I totally tested it, and it was awesome. The battery didn't hold charge very much, I remember on that one, but that's okay, disclose that, not a huge deal. Any collector is gonna be like, that's the last of my worry is the battery. Like, you can find that piece. It's finding the craft not screwed up. That's the hardest part to find. So it only lasted for like, what, less than a minute. And a battery that's a NiCad battery, nickel cadmium battery, I mean, those things are pretty much dead. I mean, 20 years to survive. I mean, not even being charged once or twice, like they're just sitting there, like just depleting slowly for 20 years. Yeah, the battery's probably toast. So what price did I get? I got about 67, if I'm not mistaken, for that hovercraft. So, okay. Let's go into the last part. I think this is the last thing I want to show you guys. And yeah, okay, so last thing, I always get more than 10 items on this show. These right here, these sold for, I think, $80, if I'm not mistaken. They might have been 100. But I believe these are probably Kinseis, I want to say, or something like that. Yeah, I think it's Kinsei. Oh, no, I got one more after this. Okay, cool. So I think these were Kinsei. Yeah, they were. Okay, so it says Gel Kinsei 4 right here. Anytime you deal with Asics, and really, really good ones, okay, so you're going to want to remember a couple things. First of all, these are the words. They're kind of hard to, they sound like ninja words, all right? They honestly kind of sound like martial arts. But there's one called Kayano that you want to look for. Kinsei is very good. Kinsei is like, God, it's like way up there in Asics land. And in fact, when these came out first on the market, I guarantee you these were over $200 shoes. But yeah, Gel Kinsei 4, Kayanos are real good. We have Nimbus, which now if you try to find a pair of Nimbuses, they're like 100 plus. And then there's one more that eludes me at this point. Oh, it's the multicolored one. What is it called? Anyway, it's a multicolored. It's a Gel Tri 8 or something like that. Nusa. It's called Gel Nusa. Okay. So yeah, these are Asics. Now you might be looking at this like, man, I ain't touching that. It has nasty stuff around there. Look, if it's a wild color like this, that's a check. If it's an Asics brand shoe, that's a check, right? If it's got trail dust, because I guarantee you that's what this is. This is a trail dust situation. That's not a bad deal. Like you can clean that. It's when there's a hole back here, okay, at the heel cup and all that stuff. That's where you don't want to mess with it. But there's no hole, okay? The fabric's still intact. Let's go to the next picture. I mean, look at the bottom of these shoes, dudes. Check that out. Look at that condition right there. What's interesting about this is almost every panel on the shoe is a different color. I'm not kidding. Look, check this out. Nothing is universal on this shoe. There's a yellow side here. Look at the other side. That's supposed to be the same side on the other flip. Look at that. It's pink, right? Look at the tongue and the main part right here. Blue on that one, pink on this one. We got purple side here. I mean, this thing was wild in every way possible. I made a video back in the day called Wild is In, and this totally, like, you know, this is in. Wild is in. So yeah, really, really, in my words, I'd just call this a bitchin' pair of shoes. Like, totally awesome. Now, is it old school Ace? What he's saying, is it nubs on nubs? I don't know if I have a picture, but we're gonna look at, oh yes, we do. So right here, Ace, if you can see the primary nub is this green piece right here. And we got some nubs on nubs right there, and it appears to have some nubs on nubs right there. We'll get a closer pick right here. The gel was good, right? So here's the gel all the way through the back of the Asics shoe. The gel is even multicolored, dude. They went all the way out on the shoe. Look at this. The gel is blue here. It's like pinkish red on this one. This looks like something from Poltergeist. If you ever watched that movie, you know what I'm talking about. Either that or it looks like some high school kid's retainer. Anyway, so here we are on the underside of the shoe. How would you list this, guys? Like, what would you put in that title as the condition? Would you put light use, barely used, great shape? What would you say on this one? Tell me. But yeah, even the sole is different colors on each one. So I see nubs on nubs right here. Yep, I see nubs on nubs on that one. Nubs on this one, right? You see some of the nubs right there too, right? You can definitely see them there. And then in this back picture, I see nubs on nubs right there. It's pretty good condition shoe. Of course, the trail dust is giving a little bit of the problem, like going, okay, you know, but don't be fooled. This shoe is in great condition. So if someone's pressed up against, well, I can buy a brand new pair off eBay for $200, or I can buy this pair, which I bet on this listing I put not much use, which is very broad, but it's good enough, right? When you put not much use, that's not saying it's mint, it's not saying light, it's saying, in my eyes, I think it's not much use, because honestly, if I was to look at this, I'd say with utmost confidence that this doesn't have any more than 10 runs on it. And that's on trail dust, like, because trail dust doesn't wear as much as concrete. So, or that's on a trail surface, like a micro trail surface, like what you would see in any metropolitan city running through the center part of town. All right, so that, yeah, that's definitely one of the things you want to look out for. Wild shoes like that. Remember with Asics, not to hustle every single model, guys. You want to mess with Kinsei, Kayano, Nimbus, and Gel Nusa. Hope you're learning something, guys. All right, let's go to the very last thing. This was found at a Savers for $2.50. Would you buy this, yes or no? Very interesting question. Out to the public right now, would you buy this, yes or no? So Brian Kingsbury on the shoe says 1 season's wear, I say 100 miles. Man, I would say way less than that, man. 100 miles on a pair of shoes is, you would never see nubs on nubs on 100 miles on a shoe. It'd be tough. But anyway, we're all here to learn, not a huge deal. But I do sell a lot of shoes, so that's, we can have differing opinions. That's cool. I just would like to urge you that 100 miles on a running shoe, typically the nubs are gone. I just want to make sure you don't get any returns if you classify as 1 season or whatever. So would you buy this? Yes. Okay, we got no on Garage Flips. Minus is yes. We know Hank. Nope. Clearing clutter for clarity. Aha, Jazzercise. This was like an XL, by the way, and I put it on. I wanted to keep it so bad, guys. I really did. I wanted to sport this thing at garage sales. But check out the width on this thing, all right? Dude, I'm like way slimmer than this thing. And when I put it on, I looked like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. Like, I looked like a straight up wizard, a purple wizard at that, a fit purple wizard. But yeah, I couldn't pull it off. I wanted to so bad. I just couldn't do it. So terrific condition, down to the actual logo was in really, really good condition. Here's a close-up of the logo. You can kind of see, though we don't have any crazy cracks or anything like that. I mean, it's in really good condition. So extra large, yeah, I wish they couldn't. Oh, I would totally wear this to garage sales. See, this is the perfect thing to wear to garage sales. And you might be like, oh, man, that's not manly. It's not about being manly or whatever. It's about having an icebreaker that you don't even have to, like, say, perfect weather out today, guys. Or, like, I like your house, like, blah, blah, blah. You just roll up with a Jazzercise thing, guys, and that's it. You could just shut up the entire day and get deals. Like, that's what happens when you wear something this cool. And plus, you get tons of good-looking women probably asking you, "Oh, I used to do that. Where'd you get that shirt?" Da, 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 da. So, and that's exactly what they say. They say da 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 da, and I have no idea what that means, but if they say that, it probably is a good thing. So this sold on eBay, or yeah, eBay for $29.99 within 2 days of buying it. It was a really good score. So, want to leave you with that. Don't pass up really amazing, iconic. And if you're like, oh, Jazzercise is not iconic, well, I would beg to differ, because it is part of our fitness revolution, or one that we lived in a couple decades ago, I guess. Yeah, very big thing that swept across America, and was characterized, women in leotards and all this kind of stuff, and sweatbands, and I mean, it's pretty cool to find an extra. I don't know why there's an extra large one of this. Quite honestly, that's not a leotard. Like, this is probably a dude's thing. It clearly is a guy's one, but that's okay. I would have kept it. I was close. I was close to keeping it, guys. I mean, I laugh at it now. It's like, maybe I should have got it altered or something, and I should have kept it. But yeah, cultural icon. That's right. Old School Ace has it. That's right. It's cultural icon. I mean, it sold within 2 days, guys. If it wasn't a cultural icon or not unique or cool, it doesn't sell. It would never have sold in 2 days on eBay. I mean, the fact is, it is amazing 80s colors, and it's like super sick. So, dude, if you're like a bigger dude and like you're confident with yourself, and you wear this to like a Lollapalooza or a festival or a Bonnaroo or something like that, I'm telling you, man, you were like the life of the party. You wear this with like some really cool glasses, and a headband and whatever, and some short shorts, bro, you're gonna have a great time at the festival. You don't have to bring any of your own things or the things that rhymes with rugs. You know what I'm talking about. You're gonna have the best time of your life if you wear this. So, when you have things like this, guys, and you find it in the wild, and you find it and it becomes your size, for example, don't forget to like really think hard about keeping it, because you'd be surprised what kind of interesting things in life open up when you start having something with really cool content on it, whether it be a trucker hat, a snazzy pair of shoes, or a really interesting tank top. I mean, seriously, this is really cool. I'm getting that regret, like seller's regret, right? Maybe I shouldn't have sold it. Maybe I should have taken it to the tuck shop down the street, and they would have hacked it open like a body from that ER show, and then they would have resewn it back to like my specs. But anyway, $29.99. Anthony Rodriguez sold for $29.99. I picked it up for $2.50 on a half-off day at Savers down on South Lamar here in Austin, Texas. Didn't think I was going to find anything cool that day either, but yep, found it. Awesome. Brian Kingsbury, yep, got it. Jazzercise tank gets you free rugs. Yep, so you know what I'm talking about. All right. So I'll stop the slideshow right there, guys. Look, if you like the show, guys and gals, right? I always say guys, and I feel weird. It's like, he doesn't like women. Like, it's not true. Guys and gals, like, if you did like the show, I want you to hit the like button for me, okay? And there's 48 people here. We got 35 upvotes and 1 downvote. So clearly, that 1 downvote is someone that has a Taiko Typhoon with a really shredded bottom that missed buying mine, right? But if you did like the show, right? If I'm doing my math correctly, we have 36 people that voted, 48 people in the house, 12 people that haven't pulled the trigger. Guys, help me out a whole lot. And if you watch the show later, hit the like button, and we'll get more of these shows going your way so you can learn about stuff. Remember, when I do these shows, I aim to put a diverse group of 10 or more. I always say 10, but I always put more, right? Under promise, over deliver, bona fide tactic number 1. I always put more to make sure that you guys get a really good learning experience, and keep it nice and fun, friendly banter. I go into the feed as much as I can. Just one of those things, maybe I'm good at it, maybe I'm not, but the upvotes will tell me that whether we keep this kind of style show or we go to something else like ride-alongs or whatever, haul-based. But, it seems to do really well, but only the data tells me later when I look at it, the analytics. So I really, really appreciate you guys. There's so many funny comments in here. But I really appreciate you guys coming through here, chilling for a little bit, for an hour with me, and keeping it positive and, interacting too, because I like to show really cool things. I should have called this a nostalgic bona fide show, because we saw a lot of really neat things on this program that took me back, and I know it took you guys back. If you were around about even close to my age, then some of these things take you back. The one thing that I don't think really took me back very much is because I got out of the video game scene a little bit right before this game. But when we covered Super Smash Bros. Melee, I know that that's like iconic for a certain group of people after when I kind of stopped playing video games, right? Like Melee came through and apparently it was the best game of all time. My brother has tried to show me like to play this thing over and over. I still haven't got it yet. Maybe I need to give it a little bit more time. But that's like one of the only things I didn't take me back. That in the Metroid game, everything outside of that, like, you know, I know a lot about it. But the GameCube games, I don't know. I know about it. I know the hustle. I know that the importance of the culture back then. I was out of the video game scene at that point, so I came back in with PS2, PS1, PS3, and then Xbox 360. So like there was a little bit of a gap. It was right after N64. It was actually It was basically only GameCube where I didn't play video games for that time period. Don't know why. Don't know why. So anyway, yeah, it shouldn't make you feel old, Nikki Gardner. Don't worry about it. This is, you know, this is a really good era, right? 80s and 90s were just fun years where really interesting things happen, whether it be graphic related or toy related or electronic related, identity crisis related. But you got to remember, if there was a crisis associated with it, a really cool logo, a fallout, a following, then these are important things to hustle today, okay? Because they're floating around out there, those things, whether it be a Jazzercise tank, a Taiko hovercraft, you know, all those kind of things. I mean, those are still floating around out there, and they're degrading each and every year that goes by. So when you rescue them, guys, it's one of the missions, like, that American Pickers kind of live by, is like rescuing something and bringing it back to market. I kind of feel the same way when I look at some of these things, is that is our duty, is to rescue it, get it for a really dirt cheap price, but rescue it, learn about it, and then you know, put it on eBay, because that's really the only channel that you should be putting most of the stuff we discussed about today on, with the exception of the Dream Radio or the Dream Machine. Fun stuff, but make sure you put it in the hands of someone else that can appreciate it, that really wants it. Hell, honestly, the person that probably bought that Jazzercise tank top, I bet you was the person that goes to like these festivals and stuff and like has the best time ever, because that's really sick stuff. I mean, Jazzercise really doesn't exist anymore these days, but that's a really cool item. Like, that takes a certain individual to wear it and to really love it for what it is. So anyway, and I was thinking about it, and that's what I was thinking about. So clearing clutter for clarity. I love finding things from the childhood in the 80s. That's right. Nikki Gardner, I had a blast in the 80s and 90s so much I want it back. That's right. Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll talk to you on the next Bonafide show, which should be tomorrow. And for sure, there's a garage selling show on Friday, okay? So we're going to discuss 3 more tips on the garage selling show for Friday. You're going to have a lot of fun. But tomorrow, maybe I'll do another one of these shows for you guys. Really appreciate it. Anthony Rodriguez, don't worry about it. The show will become a normal show on my channel after this. It just won't be live. But anyway, that's it, guys. I'll see you next time.